Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know that I have been absent for the past weeks, months. I honestly lost count, you guys. I know that I left you guys on a limbo. I believe that my last video was a kind of like a send prayers, or I just made a few comments on didn't tell you then, but a difficult situation that I was passing through in that time. So yeah, I do have some news though. It's kind of really like a life update, you guys. I do have a lot of things to tell you guys, and I honestly just want to keep these videos, these vlogs, and just document everything so that I can look upon and at a later time in my life and just have those memories. Even the bad times, you guys, those memories make us who we are. Even though we have struggles, and I don't want to break down right now, but even though we do have struggles, that does make us who we are. That does make every moment after that a little bit more special. So I thought it's been months, honestly, you guys, since I passed through a moment of my life that I feel, and I'm sure most women would agree that have also passed through that, has been one of the most difficult times of my life. So I honestly don't know if I should start with the good news or just going back to February, which is when it all happened. But sorry guys. So I feel that it would make most sense to go back to that time. And even though you guys see me breaking down right now, I don't want you to think that I'm not happy at this moment, because I am. I'm extremely happy right now. Although, like I did say, we don't forget those bad moments, and they will always be in our heart. So a few months ago, you guys, sometime in February, I would say, I think I had mentioned to you guys many times before that my husband and I were trying to conceive. I believe that I had told you many times in the past. So I guess, not all my life, but I was on anticonceptives. The reason being was because I wanted to finish school. My husband and I had a pretty straightforward idea of what we wanted our future to be like. We wanted life to be a bit easier in terms of financial stability. So we decided mutually that we would wait on having children. Not saying that we didn't want any children, but we just chose to wait. So I did. I had several anticonceptives. I was on the shot for a few months. I think it was about a year or so. I was also on something called Implanon, which is a small like rod, which is kind of like a silicone rod that is implanted into your arm, which, as you guys can see, I do have scarring from that. And before graduating, that was back in May 2018, I want to say, a few months before graduating, you guys, we decided to stop getting anticonceptives, which by that time I was already on the shot. So I think it was 2-3 months prior, we said it was fine, that if anything happened, that we would be content. Thus said, we did stop using the shot. I went about my life. We were trying, not to say that it wasn't hard, because it was. We went about a year, a little bit over a year, you guys. And just letting you guys know, this is gonna probably be a long video. So we tried, and it got to the point where we were kind of desperate in a way to know what was going on with my body, his body, if it was me, if it was him. And we went to my local gynecologist, and this person was the same doctor that had helped me with the anticonceptives in the past. So we went to her, and honestly, she just told me that she would send me, I don't recall the name right now, you guys. It's been a while back now. We went with her in December, so before 2019, December 2018, I believe. And we went with her in December. She did mention a procedure which would be very painful. If anyone knows, if you could link it down below, that would be great. Basically, what the procedure was, I don't know, they go into your fallopian tubes to see if they're tied or see if there's, just if your body is producing what it needs to produce in order to become pregnant. So my husband and I decided to wait on that just because we are both very, very, I don't want to say religious, but we do have a lot of faith. And we decided to wait. So we did wait. February comes around. I am a school teacher, for those that do not know. I was teaching. I had one of my old students come into my room all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, and give me a hug. He hugged me, I don't know, I would say like my stomach area. I was turned sideways. I was teaching at the moment, and he just came in and he surprised me. And I honestly didn't think anything of it at the moment, but they do say that children, that younger children, that pets, that, they sense that sort of thing. I honestly, with that experience, I do believe now that that is true. So what happened was that I came home. My husband told me that he had been feeling, just a little bit emotional, and I decided to do a pregnancy test, especially because my breasts were also pretty tender and I know my body. So I decided to do one of the, I don't know what it's called right now, you guys, the pink pregnancy test. Can't remember the name right now, with the lines. Basically, if you're pregnant, shows the lines, 2 lines. If it's negative, just 1 line. So I did one of the tests, and there was a very, very faint pink line, you guys, after the first line. Once I saw that, my husband was not home. He was still at work. But once I saw that, you guys, I broke down. And I still remember I started crying like a little baby. I remember thanking God. I'm sorry, guys. I remember just being excited, happy, overjoyous. I did another test just to confirm it. Again, same faint line. And like I had mentioned, we had been planning this forever, you guys. So I will show you what I had in that moment. I wanted my husband to be surprised, you guys, because honestly, I was very emotional. So I had this box, and I still have it today. I don't have the pregnancy test because honestly, you'll know why right now, but it was very hard to look at. So I'll show you what's in this box. I had some little pacifiers. I had this little, I don't know, I guess you could call it like a little onesie. A little feminist one. I had a little hat. And just some little socks. So as you can see, I wanted this to be very special for him as well, just because you guys don't imagine the joy that we felt. So he comes home, he's talking to his mom on the phone. I call him over, he tells her to wait on the line. And I show him that box along with a pregnancy test. And obviously, he gets excited too. We're both happy. Day after day, you guys, after that moment that we both saw that pregnancy test, we took a pregnancy test just to make sure that it was real, that it wasn't, a figment of imagination, that we were seeing that double line. So we did. We took a pregnancy test. I decided to set up an appointment, and I think I had my appointment about a week later or so. But every single night, you guys, we were overly excited. Honestly, I wouldn't sleep because I was extremely happy. I was extremely content with the moment that I was living with my life. Not to say my husband wouldn't, it would be the same thing. We would both be up for hours, just thanking God and just feeling happy. So our appointment comes around, you guys, and my first reaction was, well, I know I'm pregnant, but I want someone to confirm it, just so that this could become so real that I know what's, I know it's there. I know that this is actually happening. My husband goes with me. He's been amazing through all of this, you guys. He goes with me, and they obviously make you provide a pee sample. They do their own testing, and my doctor comes in, and I was happy, you guys. I expected her to say, "Congratulations, Elizabeth, you are pregnant," and just go over the whole I don't know, just I had very high expectations, you guys. When she comes in, she tells me, "Elizabeth, why are you here? You're not pregnant." I remember that moment, my lips started shaking, you guys. My bottom lip, I felt it shake. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. And I honestly, all I could think about was the pregnancy test that I took. And not to say, after about 4 tests that we took at home, you guys, yes, 4, of the double line, we decided to get one of the digital pregnancy tests. And that did confirm pregnant digitally. So I mentioned that. I also told her about the symptoms I was having. I told her about the frequent urination. I told her about my sore breast and tenderness. She disregarded everything, you guys. She said that that could be something else, and once again she told me that maybe I could be sterile, that there had to be a few testing, same testing she had basically told me about back in December. Again, she told me that she would perform those tests because she said she thought something was wrong with my body, or it could also be my husband, something with the sperm count. I remember breaking down in that sorry guys, in that room. And I remember, I don't know why she did it, you guys. I guess she felt pity. She told me that she would send me to do a blood test. So that would be in a few days. I think we went like on a Wednesday to our appointment, and we had the blood test on Saturday. So she said she would do that. I honestly, you guys can only imagine, I was destroyed. And on the drive back home, it was quiet. I remember it was quiet on my end. I didn't want to talk about it. I felt like I was gonna break down. And I remember my husband just confirming everything, saying that everything was fine, that I was pregnant, that was just a mistake on their end. And I couldn't, you guys. I honestly went in there hoping that they would confirm the good news, hoping that they would tell us, the whole procedure, and just tell me how many weeks I was and just confirm everything, you guys. That didn't happen. So when we came home, I remember I fell in a state of depression for a few days. I cried, I wouldn't sleep. I just felt horrible. Days after, I took a few more pregnancy tests just to, I don't know, I guess to believe it. And Saturday comes around, you guys. That's when I have my blood testing. We go, and obviously the blood tests aren't done immediately. That same Saturday afternoon, we had to run some errands, and I remember feeling back pain and lower abdomen pain as well, kind of resembling that, a period, basically. And I remember telling my husband, she was right. I'm not pregnant. It's just my period. I'm getting my period now. I remember, even though I had my period again, I did a pregnancy test, still said pregnant. I was honestly baffled. I didn't know what was going on. And I remember just honestly, I guess thinking it was my period. Well, on Sunday morning, or Sunday, or Monday, no, it was Sunday morning because my husband was here. I remember she sent me a text saying that I was pregnant and that she was wrong. I remember feeling afraid because of the bleeding, the pain, and I told her about it, and all she said was, I'm sorry you're having a miscarriage. I remember feeling so much anger with her, at life, at everything, at myself. I thought I had done something wrong. Which now I know, you guys, that sometimes your body might not be ready for something, for a baby, and that's just the natural way of your body responding to not being ready. After that moment, I remember going to the hospital emergency room, which wasn't even associated with the clinic that I went to. So this is a total different hospital. I remember going, and they did blood tests, a lot of blood tests. They did urine tests. And I remember the doctor coming in and telling me that I had, in fact, had a miscarriage. That the HCG, which is the pregnancy hormone, had gone down tremendously, and that it was impossible for me to show, I guess, like a few weeks further than I should have been. At that time, I think I was about 4 or 5 weeks pregnant, and he told me that the hormone did not reflect that pregnancy time. So, honestly, that was that, you guys. And I remember feeling sorry for myself. Like I said, I fell in a state of depression. I didn't want to talk to family, friends. I just shut down. And I had to keep living life, you guys. I still had to go to work. I remember breaking down at work. It was just a very hard moment in my life. And I'm sure that anyone that has had a miscarriage, being mom or dad, I know it's a difficult time. And there are really no words to say how you feel. For those that haven't had a miscarriage, I'll tell you this, it feels as if you're dead inside and your body doesn't respond to what it's supposed to respond to, which was taking care of a baby and helping the baby grow. as you guys can see, it has been a few months after that. And it still hurts. And I don't quite yet understand why it happened, but I can say that even though I don't understand it, I'm coping with it, and in a way I've learned how to live with it. So that's the reason why I told you guys I needed some prayers. I needed to feel a sense of, I guess, just something to remind me that I still need my faith. Even though that happened to me, I still need to have faith. That was honestly a very hard time, you guys, in which I can honestly say my faith was tested. I feel that I need to break this up into a part 2, you guys, just because, like I said, the story doesn't end there. It definitely gets on a more positive note, but I feel that I need a part 2 in order to just be able to tell you guys what I need to tell you now. So I'm gonna go and clean up. I just want to share with you guys now what's going on in my life now, a few months later after all of that happened, and I will be back for part 2. I hope you guys do wait and watch, because I don't want to leave you guys on this just sad story that happened, this sad chapter that happened in my life. Thank you guys for watching.